19 arrested, $750,000 worth of automotive catalytic converters recovered amid a spike in thefts in LA County. So what is driving these thefts? What are catalytic converters? What is a straight pipe? On this episode, we'll discuss all those things. Cue the music. Newspaper. And so you might be asking yourself, well, what is a catalytic converter anyways? So an engine produces power, and part of that power, the byproduct, is exhaust gas. The exhaust gas leaves the engine, it travels through the catalytic converter, the muffler, and eventually out to the tailpipe. So what does the catalytic converter look like? Well, it looks like a tiny muffler in the sort of midsection of the vehicle. And these catalytic converters, if they're stolen, they could actually be melted down for their metals. So metals such as palladium, radium. And why are these metals worth so much? It's because they're rare metals. These are very, very difficult metals to be able to refine and process. So you're going to say, well, my catalytic converter has been stolen, or you hear somebody that their vehicle, the catalytic converter has been stolen. So how much would it be to replace this catalytic converter? Well, hold on to your seats. $800 to $1,000. So what happens if I don't buy a catalytic converter? What happens then? Well, your vehicle will sound terrible. It will sound like a tractor, and it will run very, very rough, and your fuel economy will be very, very poor. So what does a catalytic converter do anyways? Well, it is a government-mandated environmental filter. So when exhaust leaves the vehicle, it goes through the catalytic converter and has this honeycomb-shaped material inside that converts or changes or filters, however you want to call it, and it converts it to less harmful gas as it leaves the engine and the tailpipe. So I'm pretty sure you've heard of this. The urban legend that walks in, the common straight pipe. Well, if I don't want to actually replace my catalytic converter, I heard a buddy that has a buddy that I could be able to do a straight pipe instead. So put a straight pipe in the place of a catalytic converter. Now I'm going to tell you right off the start, first and most important reason, it's illegal. Because you're bypassing environmental standards. And second, you're changing the performance of the vehicle. So if you take a look at the catalytic converter, you'll have two oxygen sensors, one in front of it and one behind. So the first one in front, that is for more air-fuel mixture, and the second is to measure the efficiency of the catalytic converter. So when you replace a catalytic converter with a straight pipe, what you're doing is chances are you probably won't have the oxygen sensor on either side, and so when you put a straight pipe, there is no information that from the oxygen sensor being sent back to the computer to determine A, the fuel ratio, and B, efficiency. Now, another problem is that you're also changing the volumetric efficiency. What does that mean? Basically, the amount of air flowing through the exhaust system. So you're going from an exhaust pipe, maybe which is 2 inches in diameter, and the original catalytic converter is maybe 4 or 5 inches in diameter. And so you're now changing the flow of the exhaust gas leaving. And this will change the property of how the vehicle runs. With the rise of catalytic converters being stolen, there's actually a cottage industry that's starting to move around this to be able to prevent this theft. And so they use like cages around the catalytic converters and various plates to be able to prevent the theft from happening. So I suggest that these are really, really new products. Do your homework before you actually buy it. If you like my show, please smash that button and have a good one.